Woman gave birth to quintuplets, but these weren't ordinary kids. Each one of them was incredibly smart and born with magical powers. Dabeo, the eldest, was a culinary genius. Everything he cooked was sweet, mouth-watering, and addictive. His tiny food stall had lines around the block every day. Erbo had an even more amazing gift. She could talk to animals. Birds, cats, dogs, they all listened to her like she ruled the forest. Sanbao was strong beyond belief. A bag that even an old beggar couldn't lift? Sanbao tossed it over his shoulder and ran with it like it weighed nothing. Sibao could read fortunes and predict fate with eerie precision. And Wubao, the youngest, had a glowing blue light on his forehead whenever he saw the future. But despite their incredible gifts, their mother had no idea. She was too worried about Sanbao's fragile heart born with a congenital condition. She feared any moment might be his last. Meanwhile, in a lavish villa uptown, an old lady was lecturing her grandson, the CEO. "You're almost 30. Still no wife, no kids, disgraceful." What she didn't know was that she already had 5 great-grandchildren, all with supernatural powers. That day, the old lady went to a temple and received a divine amulet. As she walked past the CEO's office, she paused and gasped. "The gods just spoke to me," she whispered. "My granddaughter-in-law, she's in the southwest." Without wasting a second, she took off. She hadn't gone far when she spotted 5 small children. Just then, Erbo heard a panic chirp from a sparrow in a tree. "Watch out, the old lady's about to be hit by a car." Before anyone could blink, Sanbao leapt forward, and with a powerful kick, sent the car flying off course. The old lady froze, eyes wide in disbelief. Sanbao walked over calmly and helped her up. Then she saw his face, and her breath caught in her throat. He looked exactly like her grandson did as a boy. Could this child be? Meanwhile, Wubao's forehead began to glow. A vivid image of the CEO, their father, flashed in his mind. Before he could say anything, their mother panicked. "Hide! Don't let anyone see you!" The kids were confused. Why didn't mom want them to meet their dad? Suddenly, Wubao collapsed, drained from the energy it took to see the future. Sibao quickly calculated his condition. He's overdrawn his spiritual power. He needs rest. But then Sibao looked up. "I'm going to find our dad and bring him home." He followed his magical compass straight to the CEO's company, but the guards stopped him at the gate. That's when he spotted a delivery truck and an idea struck. Minutes later, he popped out of a cardboard box in the CEO's office. "Daddy," he shouted. The CEO froze. His assistant nearly choked. Sibao looked like a perfect miniature version of the CEO himself. The CEO scoffed. "I don't have a son." Sibao calmly pulled out a strand of his hair. "Then run a DNA test." The CEO, curious, handed it to his assistant to process. But Sibao wasn't done. "My mom's downstairs being bullied. Aren't you going to protect her?" Sure enough, downstairs, the woman was being humiliated by a scheming ex-girlfriend. She'd been forced to mop the floor in heels, and when she resisted, the schemer stomped on her hand. Employees gathered to laugh at the scene. Furious, the woman slapped the schemer. "You think you can treat me like this?" The woman shouted for security. "Hold her down." Just as things were about to get worse, Sanbao burst through the doors. With one precise throw, he knocked the stick from the woman's hand using only a pebble. "Get that brat," she yelled. But Sanbao wasn't afraid. When guards rushed in, he pulled out a lollipop and used it to knock them flat on their backs. The woman stood frozen, stunned. Was this powerful little warrior really her daughter? Sanbao ran to her side. "I'm your daughter, Mama. I promise." Just then, the old lady arrived and immediately embraced Sanbao with joy. "You're incredible," she said. The scene was heartwarming, until Sanbao suddenly collapsed in her arms, clutching her chest. The CEO, upstairs, suddenly paused. He felt something was wrong. A strange sense of telepathy kicked in. "Sibao," he said, "something's happened to your sister." Without another word, they rushed downstairs, but the scheming woman saw them coming. "Security, get them out of here." The old lady stepped forward. "Touch them, and you'll answer to me." Everyone froze. The scheming woman's face turned pale. She didn't know. This wasn't just some old lady. She was the CEO's grandmother. And now that the truth was out, let's see how this scheming woman explains herself.